Bem-vindos ao canal. Today we present a sweeping global analysis uma entrevista reveladora com um jornalista to U.S. political strategy, especialista em geopolítica e correspondente de guerra. In this video, we weave through declarations, ele tem acompanhado de perto os principais conflitos na Europa, no Oriente Médio e na Ásia, shocking statement e traz uma visão dura e realista sobre o que está acontecendo na guerra da Ucrânia. Depending on your view, nesta análise, Bob revela os bastidores do conflito, John Helmer, o papel dos Estados Unidos, os erros da Europa e o risco de uma escalada que pode envolver todo Trump declared that Russia might be a paper tiger. Porque o que você vai ouvir aqui dificilmente Ukraine will eventually recover all lost territory. He argues Russia has stalled, its advance slowed, heavy losses mounting, and minimal territorial gains to show. The U.S. position, he says, now demands that Moscow wake up to reality and negotiate. But Helmer cautions, the statements from Trump and Vance are not merely rhetorical. They play multiple roles. To the U.S. public, to European allies, and as a message to Moscow itself. Helmer outlines three possible interpretations for these statements. They're simply out of touch, saying false things. They're speaking for domestic political purposes. They're speaking to Russia, provoking or signaling strategy. In the internal U.S. context, polls show Vance's rejection rate higher than Trump's. The tough military tone functions as a direct appeal to their base. We'll make you pay. You'll fight, but Europe will bear the cost. Trump adds, we are not going to risk American lives. Europeans will do the paying, Ukrainians do the fighting. It's a logic of delegation, yet dangerously ambiguous. The Kremlin responded cautiously. Spokesman Dmitry Peskov said Moscow will analyze the Trump-Vance statements carefully. He warned that even if the U.S. sends Tomahawks, these aren't magic weapons that can change the battlefield. The key question remains, who will operate them? If Europeans or Ukrainians do, they become legitimate targets. Helmer argues this is intentional, a deliberate provocation to force Russia's hand, strengthen hardliners, and undermine business factions inside Russia that favor negotiation. One sensitive element, the Tomahawk missile. Helmer confirms it's nuclear-capable, a dual-use weapon. Putin has warned that uncertainty over its warhead type makes deterrence impossible. He also highlights Russia's Oreshnik missile system, recently deployed. Instead of large-scale offensives, this marks a shift toward precision warfare, hybrid tactics, and a constant nuclear shadow. The key takeaway: Washington isn't negotiating Russian terms. These are statements of war posture, not diplomacy. The geopolitical chessboard extends far beyond Eastern Europe. In parallel, Trump and Netanyahu announced a 20-point peace plan for Gaza. While some Arab leaders expressed cautious support, Helmer notes that doesn't mean endorsement of the details. The plan envisions continued Israeli control, gradual demilitarization of Hamas, and an international body, the BOP, led by Tony Blair and Trump, overseeing the transition. It's an attempt to impose a peace aligned with Israeli interests under a new mandate structure. Trump called it one of the greatest days ever in civilization, a statement both grandiose and ideologically charged. So what connects these fronts? A global struggle for narrative and power. Trump and Vance craft messages tailored for three audiences: the US, Europe, and Russia. The Ukrainian conflict becomes a political instrument, just as Gaza becomes a geopolitical stage. Both feed the same machine: mobilization, media attention, and strategic dominance. This also reflects a broader pattern: escalation with minimal direct U.S. involvement, weapons delivered, operations outsourced to allies. Yet the nuclear risk remains the silent constant. Helmer concludes that peace is nowhere in sight. Europe faces economic instability, the U.S. profits from the rear, and the Middle East reconfigures its power map. The final question: are we witnessing the dawn of a new global conflict, or silent negotiations shaping the decades ahead? If this video raised more questions than answers, good. That's our goal, to make you think. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with us for the next chapter of this unfolding global drama.